Hi William and Mary. It's a beautiful day here on the Chesapeake and I thought I'd take you with me on my hike as I try to explain an unexplainable phenomenon. So I thought I'd talk about consciousness, or phenomenon of consciousness, and more specifically whether or not the concept of consciousness can be applied to non-human things like animals, plants, and maybe even entire ecosystems. I would argue that it can be, and it should be. I know it sounds a bit controversial because we're used to thinking about consciousness in the human sense. We're used to connecting the concept of consciousness to the concept of a brain and to our neural networks and the way our neurons communicate with each other. But I think it's much more complex than that, and I think looking at it from such an anthrocentric lens does the rest of nature a disservice. For example, trees. Trees communicate with each other through mycelium networks. These are little tubes connected to fungi that also connect to the roots of the trees and allow them to communicate with each other and to send carbon, nitrogen, other nutrients across their root system. And actually, a study conducted by the University of Reading found something incredible. They found that Douglas firs can tell which trees are related to them based on their notes, and actually favor these trees when sending nutrients, which is so beautiful because that's exactly what we humans do with our family members. But it also reminds me a lot of the way a neural network works and their brains. They send messages to each other that communicate with each other. There's an action potential that travels from axon to dendrite to axon to dendrite. And it tells you you're hungry, or it tells you want to go for a walk. And I think there's also a problem with the way we're scaling things. We shouldn't look at this only from a human scale. If you take a step back, for instance, you might find that an entire ecosystem is a brain. I think it was John Muir that said, if you pull one string in nature, you'll find it connected to the rest of the world. And that's very, very true, and I see evidence of that every day here in the Chesapeake. I see how species interact with each other, how the abiotic and biotic factors interact, and I recognize, consciously and deeply, that it's interconnected, it's interwoven in a way that cannot be undone. And there's another theory I really enjoy by a philosopher, Anaxagoras. He said that the entire universe is a brain, that planets and orbits and all of this is organized much in the same way a human brain is, with connections and neurons that talk to each other. I know that's a bit kooky, but in conclusion, I think all living beings are conscious. That's why I say hello to the forest when I walk through it. I hope I've managed to convince you too. Bye.